Welcome. I'm Krista Gibson, and this is Growing Older and Wiser. Today, I would like to talk about the topic of loss, and there's a reason why. I've really become very aware lately that kind of aware of some of my losses, and some of them, of course, have to do with body changes. Certainly, my moving from the Pacific Northwest to Arizona, two completely different environments, both in terms of nature and surrounding, and then people and politics and attitudes, very different. But one of the, and of course, change. I think I mentioned changes in my body, which we all go through, and which is, of course, why I'm bringing this up, because, the longer we live, the more losses we're likely to face. It's like somebody said one time, it's really great, to live up into your 80s, 90s, and 100s and beyond. However, one of the things that happens is you lose more and more of your friends, because not everybody lives as long as you do. And the longer you live, the more you lose people who might be important to you, which is kind of a negative thing, but it's also the truth. And one of the things that's happened for me lately is me realizing how many people I've lost over the last few years. People that I used to work with on a daily basis, that maybe I hadn't really seen in years, but we kind of sort of kept in touch. People who were fellow healers and counselors and New Age business people, light workers, whatever you want to call us. People that, again, I had worked with very intensely for years, as we each were providing our gifts and our talents to the world, that people who have moved on. And I've looked at it and I thought, in some of the cases, people let me know they were ill, and so I did have kind of a chance to have a bit of closure. In other cases, I suspected but didn't know. And of course, with COVID in 2020 and just my own lifestyle changes in terms of moving and all of that, physically, I had lost touch with many of these people. So on a physical basis, it's not like I was seeing them every day and now I don't. But there's that energetic shift. And, I've looked at it, and one of the things I did recently, because I was having these feelings, is I looked up Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who, as you may know, worked extensively with death and dying. And there's different stages of grief, but she presented 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And she didn't say you necessarily go through them in that order, although a lot of people do. And I looked at that and I thought, am I in one of those stages, or have I gone through those stages? And I thought in many ways I have, not just in terms of people, but in terms of just the changes in my own life. But when I look at it, I realize that when it comes to quote unquote losing people in my life, even if I didn't see them a lot, they were there. They were there energetically. I knew they were there, and we could reach out to each other. One of the things that I recognize I've done, and I continue to do, is, of course, I know they still exist. They simply passed from this level of existence and being to the other side, whatever you want to call it. They don't have bodies anymore. They don't have the same personality anymore. They're not the people I knew. They're the larger entity. However, I keep in touch with them. I know they're there, and some of them I talk to from time to time. Some of them I notice are slipping me ideas. And because on one case, on one hand, I've been a little angry, because I've been like, how dare you all leave with the mess on the planet right now? How dare you? We need you. But then I realized, hold on, they're on the other side, and they are doing what they can do from the other side. They haven't quit caring. They haven't quit being involved. It's just changed how they do it. So in that sense, then I work with them and I say, okay, guys, we really need you to go over there and work with that Supreme Court. You need you to go work with these people and those people and give them ideas. Well, I don't know how it works on the other side. It's been a while since I've been there. But I like to believe that because they used to care about all these things, they still do. And I like to believe that they're still there as my friends and your friends. And of course, we lost some of our big teachers. Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Ram Dass, some of the really big names in the 80s and the 90s, who provided so much insight and enlightenment and support to thousands and millions of people, and they transitioned. So it's like, hey, I hope you guys are doing stuff on the other side. We need you. But I guess I'm bringing this up because I kind of believe that generally I've learned that if I'm having certain experiences, so are other people. So I'm putting this out there to you. And I think in terms of the people that you might be losing is to remember you aren't really losing them. It's just a transition. And I know you know that, but it's one thing to know it and it's another thing to live it. And so it is a part of it is getting to that place of acceptance that, again, whether it's bodily changes, whether it's places where you live, people you know, whether it's through death or moving or whatever, is to recognize, okay, I'm in a new world now. This is new. It's different. How do I want it to be? What do I want to take from my memories of the people, the situations, or whatever, and incorporate those into my life? In what way? Because we never really lose anything, right? It just transforms. And that, for me, is the big aha, the big thing I can work with, which is I haven't lost anything. Everything is just transforming. And gee whiz, isn't that what I say I'm all about? Transformation, growth, spiritual transformation, and we get to experience it our entire lives. However, as we grow older, we do get to experience it more and more. And maybe we're practicing for our own great transition. Maybe that's part of what this is all about, is giving us an opportunity to practice for being on the other side ourselves and saying, how can I still help from over here? Anyway, I know that was a bit of rambling today, but it's kind of just where I'm at. And so I share that with you for whatever it means. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. There's a comment section. Please leave your comments and be kind. Bye.